Yo, what's up everybody? Uncle Chrissy. Here today to bring you the rundown from March. Just a quick little sneak peek about what's going to happen in the month to come, sneakers wise. I don't quite have everything. I'm not going to touch on every single release because this would be a really long video and I don't have time for that. But I'm going to hit some of the high notes, and obviously there'll be more stuff to come and go along the way. Started this in February. Hopefully y'all liked it. And speaking of February, it was a pretty good month. We had some cool things happen there in February. The Bread Force finally dropped. It was a pretty accessible release. A lot of people were able to get hands on a pair. We were able to drop the in-store list right here on the channel, put it up live for everybody, and a lot of folks had success on that. So please make sure you're subbed in and like the video. I really appreciate that. But I do put out a lot of last minute, really helpful information here exclusively on the YouTube channel. So definitely make sure you're subbed, because that in-store list of the Bread Force helped a lot of people cop with a relative amount of ease. It was pretty cool to see. But yeah, that was the big highlight of the month, was the Bread Force. After that, we had a couple cool ASICs release, a couple collabs. New Balance, did they do anything this month? I don't really remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get on to what we're going to see this month. There's some things that are still up in the air, some things that are already on paper, but it does look like we're starting to heat up a little bit. It looks like we're starting to get some good releases going on. Obviously, January and February, all the big brands know that money's tight. Everybody's just getting through the holidays, but now them tax returns are starting to hit, and so they start ramping up products, so they don't see their good stuff sitting on shelves. We're going to start with these Jumpman Jacks. They did the release on the Travis website for seemingly 0 pairs that actually were hit. That was a couple of weeks ago. Didn't really see any dubs go out for that, but I'm saying this with a lot of timidness in my voice that March 5th is a date that I've seen floating around for the first pair, the Mocha Sail pair. I've also seen that April is going to be more realistic, but I can't say for certain. I haven't seen anything concrete yet, but just keep your ears open for that one. Jumpman Jack on the 5th, and then we got on the 6th right after that the Coco Wow Jordans. Cool looking pair, to be honest with you, especially if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. Looks to be some nice suede, some decent neutral colors, some fall time kind of tones on it. But Jordan 1s are really flooded. So I'm really picky nowadays with what I get for Jordan 1s. I got pretty much everything I would want in the closet, all the color combinations that I'm looking for. So yeah, it's going to take a real special pair of J1s to get me to come out of pocket these days. We also just got announced today the LeBron 4s, the Fruity Pebbles, originally a PE back a long time ago, but they are back on March 7th. Well, not back, but we got a release of these coming on March 7th. Hopefully everybody saw that Kith Friends and Family pack with the Fruity Pebbles. Man, I don't like Fruity Pebbles or LeBrons, but that pack is dope, and I would definitely have that as a need on my list. Really cool to see something like that. Also, this is a big one here. The Plum Dunks, originally part of the Code JP line back in, I think it was early 2000s, then dropped again in 2020. I think it was part of the Ugly Duckling pack. But this is the the double shade of purple. You got that red swoosh coming in. It's a restock pair. It's happening on March 7th. I think they teased this on the Sneakers Live this past week. And there's going to be a lot of these to go around. This is going to be similar to the way that the Dusty Olives went down, where they just dropped a grip of them. Dark Curries or reverse Curries, whatever they're called. Exact same process. Same thing's going to happen for these. It'll probably be a Nike app release. It's not 100% official on the date yet, but that is what we have penciled in. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of pairs that go around. I don't think you're going to have a hard time hitting this one, folks. If you're a reseller still holding on to these, hope you got airbags, folks. After that, we got the Giver Flowers. The Giver Flowers Dunks. There's a low top. I think there's also an Air Max drop into this this treatment as well. But it's cool. It's kind of like a 3D kind of pattern on the upper, all white. Got the single red rose on it. It's pretty cool to see. Pretty cool aesthetic to it. I don't believe this is attached to the Chris Paul release, the Jordan 1, a couple months ago. Was that in December? I forget when it was, but really cool, really clean looking pair. Then we got the Air Jordan 4s white gold. Pretty much it's a women's release, so I don't believe this one's getting extended sizing, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure this just only goes up to a women's 12. And all white upper, gold wings, and gold what do you call them, eye stays. The metallics are on there. Clean looking pair, crispy, nothing too special. Definitely not going to get my money on it. Like I said before, I'm not the hugest 4s guy, and when I do like 4s, I go for the darker colorways. The white ones just, they don't really play to me. But if you are, there's going to be a lot of pairs of these to go around as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of EA or special release for this. in the course of the next week. But like I said, a lot of pairs to go around. You're not going to have a hard time hitting this one if you want it and have the right foot size. After that, you got the AJ3s, the green glows. Nothing too special about this pair. I think something very similar released, I think it was called Electric Green or something like that, maybe a couple of years ago, but it was nubuck. This pair is the tumble leather. Again, nothing special, going to be an easy one to go for. 19th, we got our first real big SB drop of the year. The Rayssa Leal SD Dunks. So it was cool. We had that SB Dunk Reserve a few days ago. Nothing major dropped on, and it wasn't as cool as the first one where we had, I think we had, we had the Udos dropping. That was the one I was after. But this one we had Tight Boots. We had both City of Loves. What else was part of that? I don't know. A couple other pairs. They were really, really minuscule in terms of stock. It was kind of even just, I didn't really want to get out of bed for it. If I wasn't up for work already, I probably wouldn't have paid no attention to it at all. But now we got our first real quick strike of the year. That's going to be a really, really cool release. So Rayssa Leal, young woman, phenomenal skater, part of the Nike Pro team. And really cool, clean pair. Got some neutral texture on the upper. Got the different color swooshes on there. Got the brightness popping to it. And as far as I can see right now, this is going to be a skate shop exclusive on the 19th. But again, when I talk about skate shop releases, you got to take the dates with a grain of salt because not everybody gets them. Ideally, you'll see everything done by the 19th, but you might see skate shops popping up their raffles beforehand, okay? So you might see them start popping up raffles as early as the 12th. People get them out of the way, have them done, notify winners and all that. Maybe pickup will be on the 19th. Maybe they'll ship them on the 19th, something along those lines. But definitely start talking to your skate shops now. Talk to your locals. Make sure you check in with their socials. As far as nationwide, there's going to be very, very few chances to get these nationwide. You'll probably see like Undefeated and Premier. That'll probably be your only options to get a nationwide release on these. So definitely check out NikeSB.com. Hit up the shops page and see what's near you, and definitely make sure you're talking to them, see what's going on with this release, and definitely following them on their socials to see what's going on. Looks like the trophy rooms are finally going to release on the 21st. Again, it's trophy room, so I don't really trust anything they say. But it looks like there's going to be the 2-pair release. One of them is going to be exclusive to the shop down there in Orlando. The other one is going to be a sneakers release. So the sneakers release looks like it's going to be a pretty good pair. A pretty good stock. I think this is going to be the home pair, if I'm not mistaken, but they're kind of similar, so I have a hard time distinguishing them for the moment. I think one's got the sail-colored swoosh and the one's got the black swoosh. But the sneakers release should be pretty sizable. I think the EU release is looking at 50,000 pairs. I would expect to see the US on par with that number. Other shops should be getting these as well. I don't think it's going to be a sneakers release. This should be a tier 0 boutique style release, neighborhood stores, things like that. But again, there should be a good chunk of stores loading these up in addition to Trophy Room. It's kind of a weird pair if you ask me. It's got that reverse black toe, and it's kind of, I think the upper is knitted out of the same material as like the old school warm-up jerseys, that old polyester, which that ain't really talking to me nice. So I'm gonna sit this one out. As much as I love the OG Chicago bred colorways, that's my thing. But this one really ain't really speaking to me that much. After that, Adidas jumped in the mix with a really, really cool release. So the Shell Toes, the Ninja Turtles, the Raphaels. I really can't believe it's 2024 and this release is just happening after all these years. But the Shell Toes, I probably had a dozen of these pairs growing up, different colors. And I think they're called the Superstar. I honestly just learned that a few years ago. They're always Shell Toes to me. But you look at this Ninja Turtle collaboration with the green turtle on the outside, the Raphael colored Dubrays, the action figure packaging, and it's just fun, man. It really, really is. I don't think I'd be caught dead wearing this pair, but it's a fun release. It really touches on nostalgia. The turtle shell toe, it's a real natural play. I don't know if we're going to see the rest of the characters, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo have their show, have their chance to shine, but the Raphaels should be dropping first. Check in with Adidas or the Confirmed app on the 22nd for this release. It looks like it's going to be pretty fun for sure. Then after that, the Air Max DN. Nike's making a big deal out of their new push to innovate, but I really can't see what's innovative about this shoe. It does look pretty cool, if you're into, Air Maxes, things like that. This is definitely going to speak to you. There's 2 different releases. There's a men's pair and a women's pair, both dropping on the 26th of March. And Supreme actually got to do the IPO, if you will, the initial public offering of these. I think it was this past Thursday, and they absolutely flew. Apparently, the European market is going absolutely bananas for shoes like this, in particular that Supreme pair. I've had pretty good success with Supreme releases in the past, and I've never seen anything go so quick. It was a bloodbath. It really was. But, you know, the GR, the first actual release from Nike, is taking place on the 26th. Like I said, 2 different colorways going down. And, you know, hopefully we'll see some success from folks. And I'll let you know about stock numbers as we get a little bit closer to that. After that, we got some miscellaneous releases lined up that I don't quite have firm dates on yet. First and foremost is going to be the Kith 1906 R Pack. So there's 2 shoes dropping as part of this release, a lighter pair and a darker pair. The darker pairs, you know, got your dark tones. I think it's like some metallic reds flowing through it. And the lighter pair is whites, light blues, tans. Really clean looking pair in my opinion. I've heard mid-March is when that is going to be, but we don't quite have a firm date on that. As definitely with this white pair, expect that one to be absolutely gangbusters and probably some sort of exclusive access through their new loyalty program. Don't be a bit surprised to see loyal members get first crack at those pairs. But look around mid-March. Definitely make sure you're following Ronnie Feig and Kith on all their socials in case they do a Kith strike. Be tuned into that and have the alerts turned on for the next few weeks for sure. We got the Hidden NY, Gel NYC, Hidden New York. If you've ever been in their Discord, that is as electric as it possibly gets, the Hidden NY. I swear to God, that thing is jumping off, going raging all night long, every hour, every day. People are always in there getting hype. It's pretty cool to see what they kind of built through a Discord for something that started out as just a small time mood board aesthetics kind of thing. But Hidden has built a massive following in not that long a time compared to some other brands that have been out there. But they put out some releases in the past that have just done bananas in terms of sneakers. They put out a Solomon a year, maybe 2 years ago. They did that hand dipped. What was it? The 1130, the A6. No, it's a 2160. That was end of December, I believe. That greenish kind of a pair with JW Customs that was absolutely sick. And it was pretty much impossible to touch. I think there was like 30 pairs made of it or something like that. But we got the Gel NYC. A6 is putting a real push behind the NYC this year. There's already been a handful of GRs. Needles dropped their collab, I think today, as a matter of fact. I think Bodega just had something in the works, and now Hidden is putting their touch on it. White and green, Shamrock kind of colors. If you're into that thing, Shamrocks and Shenanigans be a good St. Patty's Day pair. But crispy clean, nice, subtle, but really nice pair. Again, looking possibly end of March, even into April on that pair. And then the only other thing to really touch on that I have just from a high level drops is going to be the Yeezys. So the first round of Yeezys dropped today, I think, or was it yesterday, of the 350, the slate gray, medium gray, carbon slate, fiber, whatever it is. Just another variation of a gray 350 that they dropped today. And it sat like third period French class. I swear to God, it sat there forever. It'll probably still be there when this video is out and be there for a week or two after that. Because honestly, the 350s are absolutely dead unless it's an OG restock. I don't think there's anything new that they're going to do that'll ever move the needle or create anything like this. Kanye put out some words about the 350 and it seems like the people heard him, and it's just like at this point it's just becoming watered down. Every year they're putting out something new, something that is barely even called a subtle variation of the last release. We've had this gray before. There was the one with the black stripe down the side. There was the one that had a little bit more beigeish to it. I mean, even the Belugas from 2022 are relatively similar. Like they're putting out all these releases really close together where it's just like a drop more dye in the mix to barely even call a color variation of the previous release. So the 350s, if you want this one right now, the gray will be there for you. Go get it. But in terms of other releases, Adidas said that they are moving off all the remaining inventory of Yeezys during the month of March, so expect it to be a little hot and heavy. As far as official images, they've put out a few already with a couple different pairs of slides. I think I saw, onyx, slate, carbon, steel, whatever you want to call that, black charcoal kind of color. Looks like there's like a light seafoam kind of color to it. Foamies again, I think it's going to be another one of those darkish colors. 2 different pairs of 500s. One looks like the ash gray. The other one is like a pale ivory or pale vanilla or something like that they're calling it. And yeah, expect to see a little bit more. We know that there's still, maybe at least a dozen SKUs that were ready to go, and we'll see if they actually happen or if they all ended up, falling off the back of a truck somewhere. But that's about it. We got a bunch of good releases going on this month. It is starting to heat up for sure. I'm happy to see it. It's going to be a good time for sneakers with the resale market being absolutely in the gutter. And it's a good time to buy sneakers, y'all. It really, really is. It's a good time to be a collector. Even if you aren't fortunate enough to hit your pair for retail, by and large, everything is sitting at, below, or just above retail these days. So even if you do got to go see the tax man, it ain't that bad on you these days. It ain't, we're not talking COVID terms where folks had to pay a clip for every single pair that hit the market. So it's a good time to buy. It's a good time to be a collector for sure. Definitely stay tuned in. As you guys know, I do these a couple times a week, try to get more up-to-date information about it, give you links to all the releases, and talk about stock numbers when I can, any special releases that I know of. I'll try to get that information out there for everybody as well. But definitely make sure you're subbed into the channel and follow me on Twitter at Uncle_Chrissy and on Instagram at Uncle.Chrissy, and we will get you the information as soon as we possibly can. But yeah, March looking like a good month. We got some cool stuff going on. We got GRs, we got collabs, every brand we're starting to hear from now. Everybody's starting to talk up a little bit as the year's going on, and things are starting to heat up. So that's about all I got for today. Any questions, hit me up down in the comments, and I will be happy to do what I can to answer them for you. And please, if you could, drop a sub and like the video. I really, really appreciate it. And that's about it. Peace.